Hi there. So I'm not sure what the quality of this recording is going to be like, and this will be my first time recording in this way, but hello from Manjaro Linux. I'm recording the webcam on this Dell Inspiron 7591, which is a Dell Inspiron 15 2-in-1. Not a bad laptop overall. I have had some design flaw issues with it, like the LVDS cable is pinched by the hinge, and I actually had to take it apart and buffer it with a bunch of electrical tape and slap it back together just so that it wouldn't short out and burn the LVDS cable. That may still happen. But hello, yes. So I'm currently recording in OBS from Manjaro Linux. Manjaro is kind of my favorite go-to Linux. I'm using Graphene OS on this here Google Pixel, and basically everything in my life is either basically I've got a de-Googled phone and I've switched to fully Linux on my desktops. Now, I haven't really done this for any specific obsessive reason, concerns over maybe my privacy or something I'm trying to hide. I'm more just kind of curious how much data I can stop advertisers from getting. So I just went ahead and switched to this, and I also I wanted to gain more control over my computing experience, and I think I've done that. How this started was I had this System 76 laptop given to me at work, and I kind of started using it as a jumping off point. And then I learned about sort of the privacy issues surrounding Google Android and Apple devices. And then, and that kind of just evolved and grew and evolved and grew until I ended up with a de-Googled phone and Linux on every one of my computers. So the System 76 laptop over there, I've got this Dell Inspiron 2-in-1 here, and over there I've got my desktop running Manjaro as well. I like the Arch-based distributions. They seem to have a lot of granularity with the control, but I also like the ease of installing something like Manjaro so that you can just get up and running quickly. So overall, I'm very happy with the experience. I haven't really lost a lot of functionality. There are things I've noticed, changes in my habits, like I don't use the Maps application on my phone as much. I use, what's it called? I think it's called Here. Let's see here. Let me just check my phone. It's called, Here We Go as my map application. I've got hardened Firefox on all these machines, so I've got a profile that I made with the FF Profile Maker, and then I've got just basically on Graphene OS, a lot of the Google apps don't work correctly, so I've actually got Firefox links to YouTube, my bank account, and my credit card account just on the home page, and that works. Microsoft Teams works for work. Outlook did not work properly for me, but I don't really mind that because it's a pain anyways, and I can use the web version pretty much in my daily life, so I don't find a need for it. The only other thing that I needed really badly was remote desktop, Azure Virtual Desktop for work. And that works great, and so do all the Google services. The only thing you have to do to make those work is install Chromium instead of Firefox. So I just use Chromium exclusively for remote desktop and nothing else, and it works great. And if I ever find a website that doesn't work in Firefox, I use Chromium. But I try to use Firefox whenever possible because Chromium is sort of still somewhat controlled by Google, and they are trying to push everyone into using Chromium exclusively or Chromium-based browsers, so that one, Firefox disappears. They monopolize on their competition, and two, they can track everything. So with uBlock Origin, hardened Firefox, Linux on every computer, and de-Googled Android, the best part of all of this is I have noticed a complete end to all the advertising. I also disable Pocket in Firefox. That's another nice thing to do, and it just have a blank start page. And it's weird because it doesn't push you to think a certain way. Your computer stops being this instrument by which the outside world screams into your life and tries to push you to think a certain way, and instead you decide what you want to read, you decide what you want to think, and ultimately, you are the person who makes your own world, and that's great. So, the de-Googled Android experience, first of all, it's been great. I've had almost no problems with it. In fact, I would say this has been better than stock Android. You just have to select new apps. I use the Aurora Store and F-Droid. I would say just start there. If you can't find an app that you're looking for, try a web version. So far, I have had nothing that I did on my previous phone that I can't do on this phone. Okay? With the laptop, let's see. So this laptop was meant to run just Windows, and at first I thought it was going to be a nightmare, but after looking into configuring tablet dash mode for Manjaro, and I was basically able to disable even more things in tablet mode on Manjaro than Windows. So with Windows, you would flip the laptop over and try to hold it like a tablet, and you'd still have the mouse, you'd still have the keyboard, and you'd still have the power button, and you'd still have the function keys, the media keys, and it would not disable any of those, no matter which driver I installed, no matter what I did. I looked through forum posts, I tried for weeks, I updated the BIOS, I restored to a factory image. I actually downloaded a factory image from Dell just to see if that would work. Nothing worked. No matter what you did, if you flipped to tablet mode, you would still have all the other input devices, and it was worthless as a tablet, because you're obviously going to hold it like this, or like this, or like this, or you're going to hold it in some way where you're going to press keyboard buttons with these fingers, or move the mouse, or press the power button. I was able to disable all of that in tablet mode, and all I do is tap on a little icon on the bottom of the dock there, and it switches to tablet mode and disables everything. And it'll rotate, it rotates fine, the on-screen keyboard comes up. Maybe one of these days I'll make a guide on how I did all of that with this laptop, because it was kind of a pain to find it, but once you do it, you've got a better device than running Windows. My System 76 laptop, have never had any issues running. The next step on this laptop is going to be trying to disable the Intel management engine. That would be nice, just to get that extra little bit of security. On my desktop, which has an NVIDIA GPU, it's more of a gaming PC, I haven't really had any issues. I haven't found a single game I can't run. And, there's a couple games that were harder to run than others, but overall nothing wasn't able to run, and nothing runs with such poor performance that I would consider it unplayable. And I don't have a particularly high-end machine. So, overall, being completely ad-free, not having to pay for most of these services. The one service, the streaming service I pay for still, I stopped paying for YouTube Premium because I just don't need it. But I still pay for Spotify, and Spotify, I have not had a single issue on any of these devices. The phone works fine. I was able to install it from Aurora. Both the laptops, it works great, and the desktop, it works great. So I haven't had any issues with Spotify. Everything pretty much still just works. I use Mulvad as my VPN when I do want to download certain things, when I want to browse the internet perhaps from another country. You can actually set up your own VPN, and maybe I'll make a video for that in the future, because that's one of the other projects I'd like to tackle myself. But, Mulvad is my VPN of choice. It's great because you can actually do a cash transaction if you want to be completely anonymous. So they can't track who it is that they sold the VPN to, and you're not registering with an email address or your name. They just give you an account number. And they have apps for Android, I believe iOS. Maybe, I'm not sure about iOS, but I know they have one for Android. They've got Linux apps, Windows apps, all of that. So you will be able to find an app for Mulvad VPN pretty much with whatever device you use. But with that, that's pretty much my review. I don't want to make this too long because I have an appointment to get to. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you have any ideas for things you'd like me to make videos on, for de-Googling your life, or de-tracking your life, or off-grid topics, or anything else, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye now.